YouTube, what it do? It is I, the man, the myth, the legend, the infamous Tr3Dawg, coming at y'all with another reaction video. But before we get into that video, if this is your first time coming across my channel, then you're not quite familiar with the rules set in place yet. So please, allow me to break them down for you real quick. So, since this is your first time watching one of my videos, then that means that you are now an honorary member. Yes, sir. Of the Dawg House. Honorary. If you want to become an official member, if you want to be gang, you want to be for them, all you gotta do is 3 simple things. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. It'll really help me out a lot. Not only that, but guess what? It is absolutely free. Yes, it costs you $0 to show your boy some love. So why not, you know what I'm saying? So, growing up as a youth, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Ma Dukes, shout out to you. Love your mama. She did her best. Now, don't get me wrong. We never went to sleep hungry, and we ain't never been begging and all that bullshit. But when it came to shoes, you know what I'm saying? Pockets was limited, you know what I'm saying? She took priority over feeding us and putting a roof over our head. And I grew up kind of envious of my friends. Like, I didn't have a lot of J's, I didn't have a lot of shoes. But now that I'm a little older, I've always had a passion for sneakers. I'm more of a J's guy. I got a few pair of Yeezys, I got a couple pairs of designers. But my top 5 shoes of all time, I got 4 out of the 5. The only reason why I don't have all 5 is because one of those shoes hasn't re-released since I've been an adult. But once they come back out, I'm on it. But my top 5 goes as followed. And they're not in any particular order, but the pair that I'm waiting on to re-release is the Concord 11s. You know what I'm saying? I know that the DMP version came out a few years ago, but those aren't the same. Those aren't Concords. Those are DMPs. The white cement 4s that just came out this year, you know what I'm saying? Got the Nike on the back. Top 5. You got the black cement 3s. Even though the 2024 version, the elephant print is... I've noticed this in a lot of 3s. The newer models of the 3s, the elephant print is kind of funky. You know what I'm saying? But still had to cop them. Top 5. Black metallics. Nike on the back. Now I put some damage on it. You can see the sole ain't as icy as it once was, but top 5, I love these shoes. I wear these a lot. Now I know I said my top 5 wasn't in any particular order, but this shoe, I've worn it since I can even remember. And this is my number 1 slot. Like, all of my other shoes were 1 and 5. You couldn't really put them in an order, but this shoe is number 1 in my eyes. The greatest shoe of all time. White cement 3s. And like I said earlier, the elephant print is a little funky on this pair. I don't know why they switched the elephant print up on the silhouettes, but white cement 3s, I wear these everywhere. I mean, you can't really tell on camera, but trust me, these are beat. And I might have to double up or even triple up on these. I know the resale on these aren't crazy. Probably like $300, $350. But yeah, as soon as this pair reaches its last mileage, I'm copping another pair, because this shoe is literally a perfect sneaker, at least in my eyes. But enough yapping, enough chit chatting. Let's get into this video, y'all. We got Shoes I Hate But Everyone Likes by Dre TheSneakerGod. Let's get into this.
Throughout sneaker history, it's certain shoes in history that I could say we can all agree on that we all alike. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to make people mad. Here's the shoes that everybody likes, but I don't. Said it again on
Let's get into
platforms. The KD6
was
trash.
Bruh, you already violating. How can you not like the KD6s, bro? You got the peanut butter jellies. Those come out again next year, and I will be copping. Now, some of the colorways were swing and a miss. Like, in my opinion, the Aunt Pearls are ugly as shit. Those look like, you ever been to like the pawn shop? Not the pawn shop, the thrift store, and you see those like old used like linens and blankets that look like they've been pissed on. That's what that shoe reminds me of. I didn't like the Aunt Pearls. I don't like the Wuttas, but I feel like the Wuttas are supposed to be crazy. What's another pair that I don't like? I don't like the all orange pair. Those are hideous. But KD6s is lit, bro. You tripping. Well, you're not tripping. I guess it's your opinion.
Besides the Aunt Pearls.
Those are the... See, bro, tell me this doesn't look like it smells like piss. That look like one of the blankets that your grandma has in the basement that smells like mildew and bad decisions.
So the colorways were childish. Yes, I'm going to make
these pair. I didn't like these. I like the Ligers. I don't like any of these. What is this, the OKC pair? I like the OKC pair, the Ligers, and the peanut butter jellies.
People mad, I hear the boos in the comments. But the shoe was childish. Yes, I hear the boos. I know.
I didn't like the Easters.
I like the model. I do like the model. The silhouette was fire. It's just the colorways was cheeks. Most of these
were that's not a good colorway.
Kids. Childish. This was literally a kid shoe. I only seen kids in these. Besides the Aunt Pearls and
perfection. That is literally the best KD6 to ever come out. And I cannot wait for them to re-release.
Besides the Aunt Pearls and the what the KDs, name me some KD6s I could say, you know what, I seen grown men in them. You can't, bro. It wasn't.
The Oklahoma City. I only
seen little kids in them. And that era, most people was wearing probably bronze and then at Kobe's, but I've never seen a grown-ass man as myself. I was probably like 19 when the KD6 came out. I've literally only seen kids in them, bro. In the fake hoop.
But I feel like they were advertised for kids because when these came out, the LeBron James were like $220. The Jays was $180. The Kobe's was $190. These were like $130, $140, depending on if you had a big foot. So yeah, they was cheap. And I feel like because kids didn't have a lot of money.
You can add them in too. But other than that, the KD6 colorways were ass. Air Force One is Nike's favorite silhouette. They have the most colorways of any shoe damn near in the world. Without the Air Force One, there will not be others. We all know
not a big fan.
Are. But that's beside the point. But I'm going to make a few people mad because that's what we're doing here. I'm going to make my Chicago people mad, especially because this is what all the drug dealers and the scammers were growing up. And I'm tired of this shoe. I've never been a fan of the white.
Bro, thank you. Now, like I said in my intro, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. And my mom would literally get me a good pair of shoes in the beginning of the school year. And I would have to make those stretch until Christmas. And sometimes during Christmas, I had to choose between a pair of shoes or a video game. So sometimes the beginning of the school, I had to make that shoe stretch the entire year. And I would always get these, the all white Air Forces. This shoe, now I give credit when credit's due. This shoe is clutch when you ain't got no money because it's an all white shoe. It goes with everything. But now that I got a pretty decent collection, at least in my opinion, I will probably never buy a pair of all white Forces ever again because they're lazy.
Force One, as we call them in Chicago, white ones. White Air Force Ones is an all-time classic. I will put it in the top 3 of all time as far as history. It has always been a basic ass shoe. Mm-hmm. It is a shoe that you pull out when you don't have shit to wear.
Thank you.
Simple as that. That's why I hate it. It lets me know you have no shoe game. Simple. I know it's supposed to go with everything. I understand the aesthetics of it. I know the history. It is iconic. I will never not say that. But the Air Force One, the white one especially, is fucking plain. I love the Air Force One silhouette, but the white one is fucking plain. Let them go. Social shoe game up, bro. We gotta do better, especially my Chicago people. Let it go. For the people that's watching.
As a kid, I always wanted a pair of foam posits, but not because I thought they looked good, but because everybody wore them. And now that I'm looking at these hoes, they kind of ugly. Not a fan.
This is a foam posit. Solid colors. The material is what makes it a foam posit. That bullshit y'all was wearing around 2012.
The Weatherman's was a pair that I wanted, but yeah, no. These and then the red version that kind of looked like a tampon. I wanted those so bad as a kid.
2013 and beyond.
The Safaris?
Yes, the graphic foam posit. The Weatherman.
Yeah, these the ones.
Foam posit. Jean foam posit. I can go on. That shit was garbage. You cannot convince me this is why
Now I will say, the what was the name of that shoe? The Chinaman foam posits. Those shoes were ugly as shit, but kind of in like a puppy type of way. Like the dog is ugly, but it's kind of cute in its own little ugly way. That's the only exception, but foam posits as in general is an ugly shoe in my opinion.
Follow the foam posit is what it is today. Most of that bullshit was a hit or miss. Yeah, there are a few colorways I can say I do like, but for the most part, that ruined the era of foam posits. I should not be getting on these apps every day and hearing kids say foam posits are dead. It hurts my soul, but I understand why. This shit was bullshit. It was tacky.
No.
Like I said, some of that shit was a hit and miss. Majority of it was a miss. I'm going 90, 10%. Of course, the Galaxies and Paranorm.
Not gonna cap. The Tim foam posits was kind of fire.
And maybe a handful, but other than that,
Supreme was garbage.
So much bullshit in between that time, bro. The foam posit needed to go away in the vault and come back another time like they did in 2023. And I pray the foam posit get this iconic praise like they always have. But that period of time in foam posit was the death of foam posit.
Why this nigga croaking like a frog?
Yes, stay in my background. I know. I'm a fucking hypocrite, but I've just never been a fan of dunks, man.
Bro.
I have it, man. They are.
Y'all remember back in 2020 when these ugly ass shoes, which retail for $100, you know what I'm saying? Now in 2025, I go to Foot Locker and I see these on sale for like $59.99. In 2020, why were these shoes going between $300 and $450? Why the fuck was a pair of Panda Dunks reselling for $300? Crazy work.
Long and pointy. I just never was a fan of them. For the people that was that, dunks used to sit for like $40 for a reason.
Now I will say the SB dunks, some of them I like the strawberry coughs. Those are pretty fire. Some of the lobsters, I don't like the purple lobsters. I don't like the orange lobsters, but the white lobsters are pretty cool. What's another good pair of SBs that I like? The mummies are okay. But yeah, I'm not a big... Just get a pair of Jordan 1s. Like, Jordan 1s is the superior shoe. If you want to be different, get a pair of SBs. But the regular, especially the Panda Dunks, if you wore those, diabolical.
Like, I always respected OG Dunk and SB collectors. Like, they had their own little small community. But I just never seen what they seen. Or I don't see what people see in them now. I understand the push of it, but Dunks, man, they was never doing it for me. They was always kind of like cheaply made to me. And I don't know, they were just flat. I just never been a fan of flat shoes. Like, flat shoes, you gotta go as, you got the Dunk, you got the Converse. Anything in that category was just always look.
Now, you kind of being a hypocrite because I see a Jordan 1 box right here. I see a pair of Jordan 1s right here. And I see a pair of... No, those ain't the Chicagos. Those are the Black Toes. I see a pair of Black Toes right here. And then obviously you got the chunky dunkies. So you saying that you don't like flat shoes is kind of being hypocritical.
Flat. It just wasn't enough shoe for me. I just didn't like it. Yes, I'm a hypocrite. I own the Chunky Dunkies. But the only
At least
reason
he owned
I
up to
have
it.
the Chunky Dunkies is because I got them for retail. Simple. If you see me with a dunk anywhere, I have a couple. I got the Jeff Staple dunks. He gifted me those Chunky Dunkies, and I got the lot 50 something of the motherfucking off-white. Other than that, I give two shits about the dunks. Like, I remember like yesterday when they was coming up like crazy, but it was like, it's a pass for me. I don't enjoy them like that. And I actually biking my Chunky Dunkies. Like, the dunks can go. This is one of them to each his own moments. I know I might get a little flack for it, but it's never been a fan of them. It is some that I do like, but designer shoes, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Nah.
I just never was into.
I was never a fan of the, especially Balenciaga. These, hideous. Those torn up Balenciagas that look like somebody, you know what I'm saying, cummed all over, those were nasty. And then the ones that look like tires, those were ugly as shit too. I don't get why people wear Balenciagas. The ones that look like socks a little bit, those are okay. And then Gucci got a couple of good ones. And I feel like a lot of designer shoes, like Bape, they literally just copy a silhouette and throw their own logo on it. So either they're ugly or they're just a copy of something else.
Like that. I just feel like with me and designer
Those are
shoes,
okay.
I feel like I can get more with my buck. With a pair of Jordans or just Air Forces or whatever shoe whatever shoe that we like or whatever I like, I feel like I can get 5 to 6 pair of shoes for the price of one. That's why I've never been a fan of designer shoes. Not saying they ugly. I think it's always been a price thing for me. It's one of them to each his own. It is some of.
Never like red bottoms. Christian Louboutins. This shoe literally just looks like a Chuck Taylor with glitter on it.
But let's keep it real too. Most of them shit's just ugly, and you paying for the name. If not ugly, they come.
These Gucci shoes were ugly as shit.
Cats of shoes that was cheap.
These Amiris are literally just a pair of dunks with little skeleton bones on it.
If you know, you know. Designer shoes, what they do is take somebody else's shoes, smack their logo on that shit, and then mark the price up 10 times.
Now these Louis Vuittons is kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you. I wouldn't pay $1,800. You know what I'm saying? That's rent. But if they were about 500, maybe $6, but $1,800 for these, absolutely not.
And they get the people every time. The people eat that shit up, and I just never really been a big designer guy. Like if I'm gonna spend, okay, let me ask the people this: if you had to spend $1,000, are you going to get some heat that people never?
I wasn't even a big fan of the PEs. Like, don't get me wrong, the UNCs and the Michigans are cool, but all of these other ones is not. Nah. Maybe the Oklahoma City, maybe the OKCs. Well, I guess it would be Oklahoma University, but nah, not even these. Just the UNCs and the Michigans. Florida State, ugly as shit.
Or you're gonna get some designer shoes. I'm gonna go with the heat every time, cause you then can't get your hands on these. You feel me? Versus designer shoes, they hold no value. Once you wear
Alexander McQueen's are fairly cheap for designer though, but they look like a pair of shoes that should be at Target.
One time they then worth one fourth of the fucking price. Designer shoes have just always been like a no for me. It's a big pass. And like I said, to each his own. If you like them, you like them. It's a no for me. Hey, everybody's titled to opinions. I gave y'all 5 shoes I just don't like. I want to hear what the people gotta say. Leave a comment of shoes you hate but everybody like.
Well, that's the video, y'all. Now, I agreed with him for the most part. He was bugging with them KD6s, though. But one shoe that I want to see Nike take out of the vault is the gloves. If y'all remember the gloves, I remember in high school, not high school, but middle school, I had the, like, black, purple, and neon green pair. I wanted the white and black pair, but like I said, I could only pick one. But yeah, man, bring back the gloves. Bring back the gloves and bring back the Jordan 15s. I know people don't really count those as retros, but Jordan 15s, in my opinion, shit, I like them better than 9s. I like them better than 8s. I like them better than 7s. But hey, man, if you're enjoying the content and you want to stay in the loop of what I'm doing, make sure you follow these links down below here. Hey, man, we on the road to 1,000 subscribers, baby, so tell a friend to tell a friend. But until next time, one love and Godspeed. Peace.